From the introduction of television sets to the dawn of rock and roll music, the 1950s was a decade of incredible changes. It brought us some of our favourite iconic items, from the classic Levi's 501 jeans to the beloved Coca-Cola bottle. There are some things from the 50s that kids are missing out on today, the stuff they'll never truly understand. Let's have a look at some of these vintage and iconic items. Yahtzee. Initially produced by the E.S. Lowe Company, the classic dice game Yahtzee has been around since the 1950s. Even though the company was bought out and the production of the game was moved to Milton Bradley in 1973, the original version remains just as popular as ever. The great thing about Yahtzee is that it's a timeless classic and can be enjoyed by people of all ages and from all walks of life. As a matter of fact, people still pay around $15 for a set today, which says a lot considering the game consists of dice and a cup. Ant farms. If you think ant farms are popular now, you'll be amazed to know today's excitement for ant farms is nothing compared to what it was in the 50s. Children of the 1950s could buy a small wooden frame filled with soil, sand and a few ants for only $1 or $2. The ant farm was an emotionally detached way of getting children pets, but also a fun way to watch how ants build elaborate pathways within their own habitat. Ant farms were and still are a great way for kids to learn about insects and appreciate nature, providing hours of entertainment and education for a reasonable price. The family's first television set. In the 1950s, a television set was one of the most coveted pieces of technology. The decade began with only the wealthiest folks in town having the means to purchase one. By the end of the 50s, more than 10% of American households had a TV, but it came at a price. The most popular brands at the time were Magnavox, RCA and Philco, with people willing to pay up to $500 for the latest model. Families would watch their favourite shows like Leave It to Beaver, I Love Lucy and Howdy Doody in black and white, unless they had $1,000 to spare for a 14-inch colour TV set, equivalent to more than $12,000 in 2022. Conical bras. In the 1950s, women began embracing a new look in fashion, the conical bra. This style was often worn with the tight sweaters and pencil skirts that were popular at the time. The conical bras were designed to accentuate the woman's curves and give her an hourglass figure. They were made from nylon or rayon and usually had straps that went around the shoulder and cups that had a pointy shape. When they first came out, these bras were quite expensive. They could cost up to $10 each, which was a lot of money back then. They became an essential part of a woman's wardrobe and are still popular today. Waffle iron. The waffle iron was an essential part of breakfast in the 1950s. These cooking devices were used to make delicious waffles, but that wasn't all. They could also be utilized to make pancakes and French toast. The old waffle makers were cast iron and had two halves that would fit together to create the waffle's signature pattern. Waffle irons have survived the test of time and are still popular kitchen appliances. A waffle iron is a great addition to the kitchen for those looking to bring back a bit of the past. Robot the Robot. In the 1950s, there was a toy called Robot the Robot that most people these days have never heard of. It was manufactured by Louis Marx and Company and was one of the most popular toys of the decade. Robot had a steel body and came with a variety of accessories, including a ray gun, rockets, and interchangeable parts. It could walk, talk, and even change its direction of movement. Robot the Robot was a marvel of engineering for its time and was loved by children worldwide. Robot the Robot is not just an interesting historical artifact, it's also an enduring symbol of childhood dreams and joy. Cat-eye sunglasses. Cat-eye sunglasses were a popular fashion trend in the 1950s, made famous by the likes of Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn. The iconic shape of the sunglasses features an upswept angle near the temples that stands out from traditional round frames. Popular brands like Ray-Ban, Revo and Voinet still manufacture variations of the cat-eye look today as a way to bring back the past to a future that didn't know what it was missing. But in the 1950s, this style was considered a bold fashion statement that took courage to make. 3D comic books. In the 1950s, 3D comic books were very popular and a great way for kids to enjoy stories in a fun new way. For just 25 cents each, people could buy their favourite titles like EC Comics' 3D Tales of the West and Harvey's 3D Heroes of the West. Comic bookers would browse through the pages of the comics wearing 3D glasses, which were also sold separately. While these comic books are now hard to come by, they remain highly sought after by comic book enthusiasts and command high prices due to their rarity. If you can find one, be prepared to shell out hundreds of dollars for it. Tube radios. With all the modern devices available today, it's easy to forget just how important the radio was for people in the 1950s. It was a source of information and entertainment that kept people connected and engaged. They were everywhere, and families spent a lot of quality time together listening to them. That's because there weren't many other options at the time. Barely anyone began the decade with a TV at home. Believe it or not, radios used to cost a couple of $100s. Some would have cost even more than the TV you have at home. Today you can find vintage radios from the 1950s starting at around $50, maybe cheaper if you find a good garage sale. Poodle skirts. Poodle skirts were the thing to wear for fashionable women in the 50s. These full pleated skirts typically featured colourful appliques of poodles or other animals on them. While the original inspiration behind the skirt was a Mexican dance skirt, it was adopted by the 50s youth culture as a stylish garment. The skirts were made from inexpensive materials such as felt and usually cost between $2 to $7 when originally sold. Today, a vintage poodle skirt can cost up to $100 depending on the condition. As a classic example of 1950s fashion, the poodle skirt remains a popular choice for costume parties and retro-inspired looks. Model 80 land camera. In the 1950s, photography was much easier with the invention of the Model 80 land camera. It was a revolutionary piece of technology that allowed people to take photos without needing complicated knowledge of exposure and focus, but with a price tag of around $40, few could afford one. The Model 80 land camera featured a single-element lens and a bellows-style focusing mechanism. It had a flash attachment that could be used for indoor shots. This camera was incredibly popular, and many people still use them for a vintage feel to their photos. It was an essential part of the 1950s and helped people capture memories still shared today. The Good Humor Man. When the Good Humor Man came around, you knew it was time to grab your change and head out to buy a sweet treat. The Good Humor Man drove around in an ice cream truck selling delicious products from the frozen novelty brand. After World War II, Good Humor moved into the suburbs, and 55% of its customers were under the age of 12, with its trucks accounting for 90% of Good Humor sales. By the mid-50s, there were 2,000 Good Humor trucks driving around, making everyone's day. Tupperware parties. Tupperware is one of the most iconic brands of all time, and you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who hasn't heard of these plastic storage containers. In the 50s and 60s, the only way to buy these polyethylene containers was to have a Tupperware home party. The party was conducted by a Tupperware consultant who would arrive at a hostess's house to have the shindig with the hostess and her friends. Hostesses were often given free products if the consultant sold a certain amount of Tupperware containers at the party. 1950D Lincoln Wheat Penny. The 1950D Lincoln Wheat Penny was a common staple of people's pockets, purses and wallets in the 1950s. According to PCGS, around 334.95 million of these pennies were printed. Most now have the value of 6 cents. If you have one in mint condition, you could sell it for as much as $2.33, which is quite a lot when you consider its value is technically just 1 cent. While some wheat pennies are incredibly rare and pricey, the 1950D Lincoln is not quite so hard to find. Electric typewriters. Typewriters were a must-have office gadget in the 1950s. Though the electric typewriter was invented by Thomas Edison in the 1870s and later pioneered by James Smathers in the 20s, it didn't become ubiquitous until the 50s. By the 50s, almost every typewriter maker had a portable typewriter. The portable ones were similar to the office machine in that both were type bars, and Smith Corona was the first company to produce a successful electric and portable typewriter. Miele washing machine with mangle. The 1950s saw the introduction of the Miele washing machine with mangle. This revolutionary appliance made washing much easier and faster than ever before. The machine had an advanced wringer system that allowed it to both wash and dry clothes. This made the process much more efficient and allowed households to keep up with the ever-growing demand for laundry. It was also one of the most reliable and durable machines of its time. The machine's astronomical cost was easier to swallow when looked at as an investment, and in the 1950s, $600 was a big investment. The iron lung. The 1950s saw the creation of the E52 iron lung, a device designed to support patients with respiratory failure. The machine had an airtight chamber that could be pressurized, providing external respiration for the patient. It was revolutionary, replacing earlier models which used pumps to create air pressure. The E52 iron lung was considered one of the most critical medical inventions of the decade. It was widely used in hospitals and became the standard of care for treating cases of polio, which was prevalent during this period. Heinkel Tourist 175. The Heinkel Tourist 175 was a popular German scooter of the 1950s. Released in 1953, the Tourist 175 was powered by a 177cc single-cylinder engine and featured 4 gears and a unique body shape. With its top speed of around 45 miles per hour and comparatively decent fuel consumption, the Heinkel Tourist was one of the most efficient scooters of its time. It also featured a reliable front suspension, allowing for a smooth ride even on bumpy roads. Thanks to its lightweight design and ease of operation, the Tourist 175 became an instant hit with younger generations, remaining popular well into the 1960s. Fat-melting jiggle machine. The fat-melting jiggle machine was a revolutionary product from the 1950s. It was designed to help people lose weight quickly and easily by shaking their bodies and vibrating the unwanted weight away. When a user would connect themselves to the machine, it would vibrate, helping to loosen fat deposits and facilitate circulation, or so was the claim. This contraption was a popular choice for those looking to get fit in the 50s, and its effects were said to last up to a few days after each use. The UNIVAC 1. The UNIVAC 1, also known as the Universal Automatic Computer 1, cost over $1 million in the 50s, and it was considered a stunning piece of technology unlike anything that had ever been seen before. It was the first ever general-purpose digital computer. Designed for businesses by John Morchley and J. Presper Eckert, the UNIVAC 1 marked the dawn of the digital age. Though its original retail price was supposed to be just $159,000, the UNIVAC 1 ended up costing $1.25 to $1.5 million. As you can imagine, just 46 units were made and delivered to wealthy business customers. The Panty Raid College Prank. Panty raids were a huge prank on college campuses in the 1950s, though now they probably wouldn't be as widely accepted. Panty raids involved male students invading female students' living quarters to steal their underwear as trophies. Augustana College in Rock Island, Illinois was the site of the first panty raid, and this prank spread quickly across the country after the event made headlines. By the end of 1952, this epidemic had spread to 52 colleges, sometimes involving as many as 2,000 male students. Zenith Flashmatic Television Remote Control. The Zenith Flashmatic Television Remote Control, introduced in 1955, was one of the first wireless remotes. Using a light-based system, users pointed the handheld unit at the TV and pressed buttons to transmit commands. While revolutionary, it had limitations such as interference from ambient light. Discontinued in 1956, the Flashmatic paved the way for future remote control advancements. Its light-based design inspired later models that addressed its shortcomings, leading to the development of modern remotes. Despite its short lifespan, the Flashmatic remains a significant milestone in remote control history, enabling the convenience and ease we now associate with these devices. McFooling-You. In 1940, Richard McDonald and Maurice McDonald founded the infamous McDonald's food chain. For the last 80 years, the burger joint has become the favorite of millions of people all over the world. Approximately 69 people visit McDonald's every day. Their burgers are alleged to be a bit underwhelming when compared with what's displayed on their billboards and screens. In 2012, when a customer asked McDonald's why their food looked so different in the advertisements, McDonald's Canada released a show-all behind-the-scenes video on their YouTube channel. It revealed how they get their quarter-pounder to look like a million-pounder. They used the same ingredients, but with immense finesse. Their objective was surely to show all the ingredients inside. The process requires knowledge and expertise of a food stylist who prepares and arranges the food in an aesthetically pleasing manner. When ingredients are positioned for a campaign, the food stylist takes a hot palette knife and melts the cheese into perfection, and then some precision condiments are used, and syringing out of the ketchup and mustard into shapely blobs is carried out. The imaging specialist boosts the saturation of ingredients and neatens their placement. Therefore, it's not like the one offered on the go. They also have a slight discrepancy with their fries too, as allegedly they enhance their advertised fries by propping them up with a sponge and toothpicks. Ice, maybe? The 1990s rapper Vanilla Ice indicated that ice is back with a brand new invention: fake ice. Real ice is rarely used in film and TV as it melts instantly. Additionally, its inappropriate cloudy white appearance makes it neither pretty nor sufficiently durable. On the other hand, artificial ice cream made from squishy silicone rubber, as shared by TikTok filmmaker David Ma, seen in this video, has several benefits. It superbly breaks into pieces. Resultantly, the food stylist has overwhelming control over the size and shape of the ice. It doesn't melt and can easily be manipulated, and it does not create noise, which is suitable for movie situations. Clinks and clanks of real ice can hinder the actors' dialogues. Movies and advertisements usually struggle with hyperrealism. As ice is not exactly cold, food stylists have made other improvisations for achieving a beverage that appears to be fresh out of the fridge and immaculately dripping with condensation. The food stylists load up a hypodermic needle with glycerine and tactically place their droplets. Glycerine is indistinguishable from water and helps photographers to capture the right shot. Food stylists spray a 1-to-1 mixture of water and glycerine all over the bottle, depicting the drink as fresh out of the refrigerator. Thirst traps. There are several tricks involved in advertising of hot beverages. Coffee is one of the most desired items, and reportedly global coffee market is expected to grow up to $155 billion by 2026. For attracting caffeine consumers in commercial advertisements, beverages are pumped up with liquid soap to achieve the large frothy gains. The soapy additive acts as an agent to maintain a frothy appearance for a longer time than actual and provide sufficient time for filming. They also use tampons. Food stylists take a wet tampon, whack it in the microwave, and position it in or behind the food or drink for replicating the steam coming from the product when it's photographed. Advertisements containing cold drinks like wine are full of deception. Food stylists have their special cocktails. For red wine, a little bit of food coloring works well, and for Chardonnay, it's just water with a few drops of kitchen bouquet, which gives a golden hue comprising caramel and vegetable flavorings. It's more often used for browning and seasoning meat. Not just desserts. Cakes shown in commercials are not original, as frosting melts and cakes eventually sink, especially under hot studio lights. Food stylists can solidify the cake by adding layers of cardboard between the tiers, which helps avoid seeping of hot melted frosting. Cardboard layers are masked by another layer of frosting. Similarly, deceptive desserts and melted chocolate are also part of the same category. Emma Feigenbaum, a New York-based food stylist, once revealed that food stylists prefer to use a concoction of cleaning product, borax, PVA glue, and food coloring instead of real melted chocolate. It's a recipe for homemade slime. Unlike chocolate, slime neither melts nor hardens quickly, therefore it can be conveniently used to obtain the desired appearance. Whipped cream is also not an exception, as real whipped cream is rarely used because it quickly turns into a running, sticky mess. Therefore, food stylists resort to using shaving foam, which has a glossy appearance and durable structure. It works as a perfect substitute for whipped cream. Ice cream melts very rapidly, and filming or photography would be a whole can of worms. Well, food stylists use mashed potatoes after adding a few drops of food coloring. They can transform potatoes into the pudding as they have a similar consistency, are easy to color, and can be eaten if required. Robots. Everybody prefers to have sprung and sprayed food items on display. It takes a lot of orchestration. Steve Girolt is a veteran taco tosser who might reflect himself as a visual engineer on his resume. Steve has a production company named The Garage, which has built incredible robot mechanisms used for creating popping, dropping, and actually showing stopping visuals. Steve confided about his favorite creation. He called it the deconstructed burger rig. You can see an impressive burger resulting from each ingredient suspended on a piece of string. It's edited in post-production, and subsequently by a swift guillotine mechanism, the strings are slashed and gravity takes care of the rest. The Starbucks method. Starbucks staff at counters usually pronounce customers' names absurdly, which has ignited an online heated debate regarding the conspiracy. Proponents of conspiracy theory believe that Starbucks cashiers occasionally spell customers' names in an entirely absurd way, which leads to sharing hilarious faux pas with friends, family, and social media, which provides more exposure opportunities for Starbucks. However, Starbucks representatives denied the allegations. They claimed that their name-taking tradition was quite an innocent and fun-oriented manner to interact with their customers, and there was no ulterior motive behind it. A sense of bespoke personalization and ownership coming from a Starbucks beverage is probably a winning formula, as the customers remain connected with the product and provide the corporation with a small personal feeling, which helps in enhancing customer loyalty in the future. Not so real estate. Buying a house usually is the biggest deal we make in our lives. As per CNBC, the average price of an American house is around $300,000. Realtors resort to different tricks for tempting the customers. Their online pictures are generally misleading. These two photographs taken from the same spot in the room have a different impact on the size of the room. Wide-angle lenses expand space as the objects seem further apart and more distant. It exaggerates the size difference between the fore and background, leading to the illusion of the room being larger than the actual. Wide-angle cameras available on smartphones have further helped in this regard. Crip Erickson, a Colorado realtor, claimed that a nice smell is often used by the realtors to their advantage, as it attracts people. He also highlighted the importance of using music to set the ambiance. Driven to deception. Purchasing a car is another unique experience. As per Forbes, an average brand new car costs about $45,000. By 2030, the automobile industry is expected to reach around $9 trillion. The car industry has several advertising tricks. The most important amongst these is the Blackbird, which is a virtual transformer capable of shapeshifting into any car. The Blackbird operates like any other car and has a 360-degree camera and LiDAR scanner on board. The 360-degree camera captures the surrounding environment, whereas the LiDAR scanner makes use of laser technology for collecting the dimensions of nearby objects and buildings. By using CGI, the Blackbird can be converted into any shape and design of a car one can imagine. With the help of 3D motion captured from the 360-degree camera and LiDAR scanner, animators can create authentic reflections of the CGI car, leading to something virtually indistinguishable from reality. The adjustability of Blackbird provides flexibility to increase length, width, stretch out wheels and suspension to match the usual proportions of any kind of vehicle. Mostly car advertisements are shot much before the design of the car is finalized. Any adjustment in the shape of the car can easily be incorporated into the advertisement. The cost of Blackbird is just a fraction of vintage or exotic cars, hence it's much more cost-effective. During the 2020 lockdown, Kunal Kalkar, an Indian photographer, faced a predicament and found an innovative solution. He was in communication with Lamborghini for a photo shoot, but the arrival of the pandemic made his travel impossible. He decided to shoot the next best possible option, a toy Lamborghini, by securing the 118th scale Lamborghini Huracan replica to a treadmill by a piece of string. He used the forced perspective technique for pulling off the illusion of a full-size Lamborghini. This technique makes something look closer from farther away, smaller, and in this case, toy Lamborghini seemed bigger, and to make the scene look quite realistic, Kunal sprayed the car on the treadmill with water to imitate rain and used glaring lighting to produce reflections on the ground. Kunal even used a ping-pong table net for the background. Kunal probably resorted to Photoshop magic for making the colors seem real. Another magic shoot was by TikToker and filmmaker David Ma. He filmed his treadmill cruising car and made public his finished product. He created the illusion by resorting to dynamic lighting and forced perspective while adding a rig of shower and fog spray for giving an impression of a dramatic storm. Its result was quite outstanding, which made the mini BMW look to swap the treadmill for tarmac. Hair goals. We see shampoo commercials depicting incredibly beautiful hair, but in reality, no one has hair like those shown in commercials. Stylists commit several cardinal sins for achieving seemingly magical locks of hair. They use fake hair, employ extensions, hairpieces, and utilize anything which can forge the appearance of magnificent hair. In certain cases, they even do not attach their hair to the model's head. In this picture, a mound of hair is placed in the backdrop, and the model's hair is perfectly blended into it. Using the forced perspective technique, it creates the illusion of long golden locks. In other cases, stylists pump up the volume of hair by stuffing in a few styrofoam balls. Well, the most impressive and shocking trick is managing waves of hair dancing through the breeze. It's managed by two little green guys. These green persons in morph suits use the small green rods for choreographing the model's hair, which seems to be naturally cascading through the wind. By using green screen technology, these persons are subsequently edited out. While watching TV, we would never suspect such acts. Bee venom. Looking to enhance your skin's elasticity? Rodial's Bee Venom Super Serum offers a unique solution. This luxurious serum, priced at $240, is designed to boost skin elasticity by up to 35% in just 28 days. Harnessing the power of bee venom, this serum provides a range of benefits for your skin. The natural proteins, amino acids, and peptides found in bee venom can stimulate collagen production, improve blood circulation, and reduce inflammation. These properties can help minimize breakouts, redness, and fine lines, leaving your skin feeling smoother and more youthful. If you're not allergic to bees, Rodial's Bee Venom Super Serum is a safe and effective option. The extraction process ensures the bees remain unharmed. With several bee venom-infused products available on the market, you can find the perfect fit for your skincare routine. Snail mucus. Snail mucus, also known as snail mucin or slime, is an ingredient in several beauty care products to help smooth wrinkles and heal damaged skin. Research has shown that snail mucus can hydrate skin, help wounds heal, and improve fine lines when used properly. Of course, it's always best to start with a small amount to check for any reactions first. Snails have been used for ages to help with skincare and other health problems. Hippocrates was reportedly crushing snails for skin issues as early as 400 BC. Snail mucin has been popular for a while in places like South Korea, but it started showing up in US products around 2010. It may be time to incorporate snail slime into your daily beauty routine. Lanolin. Lanolin, a natural wax secreted by wool-bearing animals, is a popular ingredient in many skincare products. Known for its ability to soothe and hydrate dry, irritated skin, lanolin helps to lock in moisture and promote healing. Derived from the wool of sheep, lanolin is an effective and gentle option for those with sensitive skin. The extraction process is typically humane, ensuring the well-being of the animals. With its lightweight texture, lanolin easily absorbs into the skin, providing relief from dryness and itchiness. It also helps reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, promoting a more youthful complexion. For those with chapped lips, lanolin offers a nourishing solution, penetrating the moisture barrier and accelerating healing. Foreskin. One of the more bizarre ingredients found in beauty products is foreskin. To be exact, fibroblast cells are harvested from the circumcisions of infants and are used in products to promote skin rejuvenation and healing. Tissue from circumcisions is sent to laboratories where the nutrients are extracted. These nutrients include fibroblasts and cytokines, which can help rejuvenate skin. Several beauty products on the market contain foreskin, but the most popular are anti-aging treatments that work to create a more youthful appearance. While it's not illegal to use foreskin extract in beauty products, some consumers may find it unethical. Cosmetic companies claim the extraction process is completed in a manner that doesn't allow contamination and is extremely safe for its consumers. It may feel strange knowing that foreskin is a part of your beauty products, but the decision to use it is strictly up to the consumer. Ostrich egg yolk. Eggs are a good source of protein, vitamins, and other nutrients that make for a delicious breakfast. Egg yolk is apparently good for the skin, too. More specifically, ostrich egg yolk. The egg of an ostrich is the largest of any living bird, and its yolk is used in a variety of beauty products due to its ability to help condition skin. It's found in serums, moisturizers, and other cosmetic products. The antimicrobial properties of the egg yolk can also work against acne and other skin conditions. These properties prevent the growth of certain bacteria on the skin. The yolk of the ostrich egg is rich in nutrients, and the extraction process separates the yolk from the egg white. Since the egg of an ostrich is much larger than that of a chicken, it contains a much higher amount of nutrients. Using ostrich egg yolk is considered safe, but consumers should demonstrate caution when first using it in case of an allergic reaction. Crystal ice plant. Discover the refreshing benefits of the crystal ice plant with Blythe's pressed serum. This unique succulent plant, known for its ability to thrive in harsh desert conditions, is packed with hydrating properties. Containing a concentrated 63% extract of crystal ice plant, this serum delivers long-lasting moisture without leaving your skin feeling greasy. Perfect for those with oily or sensitive skin, the pressed serum's lightweight texture absorbs quickly, providing a refreshing and revitalizing experience. Combining the potency of a serum with the comforting feel of a cream, pressed serums have gained immense popularity in South Korea. This innovative skincare trend is now making its way to beauty enthusiasts worldwide. Salmon. Salmon and other marine fish are a rich source of bioactive compounds, including proteins and peptides, that offer valuable benefits for skincare. These compounds possess antioxidant and anti-aging properties, making them ideal for repairing damaged skin and promoting tissue regeneration. One innovative ingredient derived from salmon is the salmon egg enzyme. Released by salmon at birth, this enzyme is a natural alternative to the acids often used in exfoliating creams. Studies have demonstrated its effectiveness in gently removing dead skin cells, leaving the skin smoother and more radiant. Another intriguing ingredient from the salmon family is salmon sperm. This component has recently gained attention in the cosmetic industry for its potential anti-aging benefits. Incorporated into various formulas, salmon sperm offers a unique approach to combating signs of aging and maintaining youthful-looking skin. Diamonds. The quote says that diamonds are strong, resilient, and everlasting, which is just the kind of ingredient you want in a beauty product. Lancer's Eye Contour Lifting Cream is topped off with diamond powder and minerals to help create a youthful glow. Dr. Harold Lancer, owner of Lancer Dermatology, is the Beverly Hills dermatologist to many celebrities, including Kim Kardashian and Victoria Beckham. His company offers a variety of luxury beauty products, including the lifting cream with diamond powder. The Eye Contour Lifting Cream contains caffeine to reduce the look of puffy eyes and kelp to improve the look of skin's elasticity. The cream also contains alfalfa seed extract and lupine to reduce bags and wrinkles under the eyes, while hyaluronic acid provides hydration to the eye area. Then comes the star of the product, the diamond powder. The diamond powder provides photoluminescence to eliminate dark shadows and wrinkles, proving that diamonds are a girl's best friend. Pig collagen. Porcine collagen is a type of collagen derived mostly from pig's bones, skin, and connective tissues. It's very similar to human collagen, which is one reason it's starting to appear in skincare products. Collagen provides elasticity, support, and strength to our skin and other parts of the body. As we age, collagen production is reduced, resulting in wrinkles and sagging skin. This is where the pig collagen enters the picture to help rejuvenate the skin. The porcine collagen improves skin elasticity, reduces wrinkles, supports wound healing, and promotes skin hydration. It can be found in face masks, creams, and jellies. It's generally safe for anyone to use on the body, and products containing pig collagen are usually more affordable than products with similar ingredients. Insects. There's one ingredient found in lipsticks, lip gloss, and eyeshadow that may surprise you. Carmine is used in these products to add a bright red color without using synthetic dyes. Carmine is made from dried and crushed shells of female cochineal insects. Carmine is the secret behind many shades of red in your favorite lipstick color and some foods. Cochineal insects are harvested and dried before being ground up to produce the dark red shade in a powder. The extracted dye is boiled and filtered, then added with other ingredients to produce the color. It's estimated that anywhere between 22 billion and 89 billion female cochineals are killed each year to produce the dye. Many who live a vegan lifestyle have felt misled by cosmetic companies that don't disclose their additives, and there have also been some health risks connected to cochineal products. Even with the controversy surrounding carmine, it's here to stay in cosmetics. Placenta. Placenta, a tissue that develops in the uterus during pregnancy to nourish a fetus, has been used in traditional medicine for centuries. In recent years, it's gained popularity in the beauty industry. However, its use in skincare products remains highly controversial. While proponents of placenta-based skincare products claim various benefits including anti-aging, skin brightening, and moisturizing properties, there is limited scientific evidence to support these claims. Moreover, the use of human placenta in skincare products raises ethical concerns regarding the source of the placenta. If animal placenta is used, there are also concerns about animal welfare and the ethical implications of harvesting placenta from animals. Some studies have raised concerns about the safety of placenta-based skincare products, including potential allergic reactions or other adverse effects. Given the limited scientific evidence and ethical considerations, it's important to approach placenta-based skincare products with caution. If you're seeking natural skincare ingredients, consider exploring alternatives such as plant-based extracts, aloe vera, hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, or peptide-based products. These ingredients offer similar benefits without the ethical concerns associated with placenta. Horse oil. Horse oil, derived from the fat of horses, has been gaining popularity in the beauty industry for its potential benefits. Rich in essential fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals, horse oil is believed to offer a range of advantages for skin health. Horse oil's high moisture content helps to nourish and hydrate dry skin, reducing flakiness and improving elasticity. Its anti-inflammatory properties make it suitable for those with sensitive or irritated skin. Additionally, the antioxidants in horse oil help combat free radicals, preventing premature aging and promoting a healthy complexion. Due to its regenerative properties, horse oil can aid in the healing of minor cuts, scrapes, and burns. However, it's important to note that while horse oil can be a beneficial ingredient, it's not a cure-all for skin problems. A common misconception in the beauty industry is the inclusion of horse sperm in skincare products. This claim is entirely unfounded and has no scientific basis. There is no evidence to suggest that horse sperm offers any benefits for skin health, and its use in cosmetics would be highly unethical and unsanitary. Similarly, claims that human sperm or vaginal fluids can be used in skincare products are unfounded and potentially harmful. There's no scientific evidence to support the use of these bodily fluids for cosmetic purposes. While these fluids contain biological compounds, they're not intended for external application and may pose health risks. For example, introducing foreign substances into the genital area can increase the risk of infections or irritation. Additionally, the extraction and processing of these fluids could involve unsanitary practices, leading to contamination with harmful bacteria or viruses. Nutella. Nutella is one of the most liked nut-based spreads in the world. We all know that nuts are good for health, but these should be consumed in moderation. Nutella is a pretty treat for young people, however, it's not healthy as advertised. It's full of sugar, fat, and several other sketchy items. 2 tablespoons of Nutella are equivalent to 5 teaspoons of sugar. In other words, it's about 83% of the sugar intake recommended for women. Additional layers of sugar don't make food healthy. Therefore, you must resort to moderation while enjoying Nutella. Pringles. It's well known that potato chips are high in fat and calories, but we can use these occasionally instead of making them a predominant part of the diet. You may be considering Pringles as potato chips, but that's not correct. Pringles are manufactured through a process involving rice, corn, wheat, and potato flakes, which are pressed to form a shape similar to dough rolled out into a thin sheet cut into thin strips. Subsequently, these are cooked in hot oil and then blown dry and sprayed with powdered flavor and afterwards filled in cans. Once Pringle manufacturers try to evade paying taxes on the pretext that the Pringle chips have extremely low potato contents that actually are devoid of potatoes. Pringles also contain a carcinogen known as acrylamide, which has been found to cause neurological damage in humans. It has also been associated with causing various types of cancer in animals. When carbohydrate-rich foods are cooked at high temperatures, it results in the production of the carcinogen. Spray cheese. You won't be able to stop yourself from feeling disgusted once you find out how spray cheese is made. It's not even real cheese. Interestingly, spray cheese contains several ingredients that consumers would expect, like canola oil, whey, and cheese. But the most worrying thing is the presence of chemicals in these products. One of the mystery ingredients of spray cheese is sodium phosphate, which is used to ensure jointness among the different ingredients. Unfortunately, sodium phosphate can make urine acidic and cause kidney disease as well as renal failure. Sodium citrate is added to keep the contents from getting grumpy, however. It's also acidic and results in tooth erosion. The most dubious content of spray cheese is sorbic acid, which keeps cheese mold-free for quite a long time, but if it touches your skin, it can cause a rash and other serious side effects if you suffer from allergies. Andalusian goat milk cheese. Most people might not get an opportunity to use Andalusian goat milk cheese, but some people eat it. The cheese-making process involves several steps. The first step is to curdle the milk traditionally, and it's done with a natural product known as rennet. For making rennet, the stomach of a newly born kid or lamb is removed and tied off to keep it from leaking the organ. It's rolled in ashes for coating properly and then hung to dry in a warm, dry place away from direct sunlight. By the time the sack has dried thoroughly, the milk inside it would have been converted into a brown powder. While making cheese, a small quantity of rennet is mixed with water and used to prepare an emulsion which helps the milk turn into curd. The quantity of rennet varies based on the hardness or softness of curds. A tiny quantity of rennet can be used to produce 12 2-pound cheese packets. Instant noodles. Instant noodles are not very good for health, though these are immensely popular among the young ones. These were invented by Momofuku Ando of Nissan Foods in Japan in 1958, and they've become the staple food of millions of people all over the world. Since its invention, the production process has hardly gone through any change. All ingredients are mixed, rolled out, then cut into strips which are steamed, dried, fried for dehydration, cooled and packed. The problem lies in the nutritional value, particularly the amount of sodium. As per the recommendation of WHO, a single packet of instant noodles surpasses recommended limits of sodium intake. Another issue relates to MSG, as some people believe that MSG causes serious long-term health problems. Candy. Parents usually avoid giving candy to children, whereas children insist to get their favorite items. Excessive eating of candy can have negative effects on our teeth, as high content of sugars and fats found in candy can increase the risk of developing cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and high cholesterol. The predominant use of candy can lead to poor nutrition, particularly if you fail to eat enough protein, fruits, and vegetables. Candy is made of sugar, and its use is not much benefit for a healthy body. Breakfast cereal. Most breakfast cereals are prepared from processed grains and then fortified with vitamins and minerals. Although it's claimed that this process enhances the nutritional value of food, but nutritionists are struggling against the addition of sugar to the food. Most of the breakfast cereals form part of this problem, as sugar is generally listed as the second or third ingredient. This sugar content allows blood sugar and insulin levels of cereal users to spike and lose a bit later, which is a day-to-day issue. It also has long-term implications for health if these cereals are used regularly on a daily basis. It creates issues like diabetes, heart disease, and maybe even cancer in some cases. Although breakfast cereals are marketed as healthy, these have negative effects. Kopi Luwak. Here is something for coffee aficionados. Most people would have no idea about Kopi Luwak. Any individual who is a fan of international caffeine would be aware that Luwak is the most expensive coffee in the world, as it's made from animal poop. It is a tiny furry mammal called a palm civet, native to Southeast Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. It feeds on insects and small reptiles as well as coffee cherries and mangoes. The animal is also known to eat coffee beans. The civet's digestive enzymes change the structure of the proteins found in the beans. It removes some of the acidity when they're pooped out and ground into the coffee. They're believed to make a fine cup of Kopi Luwak which can cost up to $80. There is a glaring issue with this as tourists flock to Indonesia in greater numbers, and resultantly more and more wild civets are being held captive in coffee plantations for getting more coffee poop. Also, the tourists will be paying more money when they see these animals personally. Raw oysters. In some cultures, oysters form part of very popular dishes. FDA is well against the idea of eating uncooked or raw oysters, and they frequently put an official warning about the risk involved in this practice. FDA warns that raw oysters can contain serious contamination, and some oysters can be contaminated with a naturally occurring bacteria called Vibrio vulnificus, which is especially prevalent during summer as the water temperature rises. One just cannot assess contamination found in oysters just by observing or smelling them. Well, if you eat a contaminated oyster, you'll become aware of it within 24 to 48 hours. Its symptoms include vomiting, shock, and skin lesions. FDA has described this bacteria as a potential threat to life. Gelatin. Probably a sizable number of people don't know how gelatin is obtained. Gelatin is a tasteless substance produced by boiling the skin, cartilage, and bones from animals. It's the jelly substance that makes the texture of a lot of delicious candies. Gelatin is produced from the contents that meat industry leaves as a residue: pork skin, horns, and cattle bones. No one would like to eat this stuff, as several vegans unwittingly break their diet. Gelatin is being used so excessively that if you don't check ingredients attentively, you'll most probably not notice its presence. Tuna. Tuna is among some of the most popular fish. Tuna and other lard fish are known to contain high levels of mercury, and that too in its most toxic form. Exposure to high levels of this mercury can result in severe neurological damage. It's specifically harmful to pregnant women and children. Scientific studies show that mercury poisoning can cause several other problems, including reproductive health and neurological development. It becomes most threatening for mother and child. Certain nutritionists advise that college students should reduce their exposure to mercury as their nervous systems are still developing. Therefore, you will need to be careful while eating tuna fish. Chewing gum. Manufacturing chewing gum involves a lot of stuff. There is one problematic substance known as linolene used for producing chewing gum. Linolene is a waxy secretion which is obtained from sheep's wool. In biological terms, the linolene makes sheep's wool waterproof. In chewing gum, it's part of the contents for the chewy texture. Most probably, when chewing your favorite gum, you're actually eating sheep secretions. It's also interesting that chewing gum has an abundance of other ingredients. Presently, manufacturers are not legally bound to indicate what contents they use for manufacturing chewing gum. Some chewing gum brands use wood resin, polyethylene and polyvinyl, acetate, and all synthetic rubber products. Ice cream. We all love to eat ice cream. There are a lot of ingredients in addition to what is indicated on the label. Wherever you notice natural or artificial flavors on an ingredient list, you should be able to understand that probably there is some stuff which the manufacturer doesn't want you to know, like propylene glycol, a chemical which is commonly used in cosmetics, pet foods, antifreeze, and in numerous human foods. But for ice cream, it's usually hidden within the natural flavor label. Manufacturers put this substance into ice cream as it prevents ice crystals and makes ice cream more scoopable. Legally, manufacturers are not required to declare this. Antifreeze has very prominent harmful chemicals, including ethylene glycol. Although it's not toxic, it's not good for health. Black ivory coffee. Humans have developed ways to enhance and improve their most liked foods. Although civet coffee served in Indonesia is considered to be the most costly, Thailand's Golden Triangle is famous for the mass production of opium and elephant dung. From elephant dung, we can find the world's most expensive coffee. It's produced by feeding elephants coffee beans and then picking them out of dung. Those who make this coffee say that the coffee comes out better than any other things due to the elephant's herbivorous diet, flowers and leafiness, which give the coffee a floral, chocolatey taste. Red Bull. We come across a lot of rumours on the internet which cannot all be believed unless we read carefully and verify the facts. For the last several years, some rumours have been circulating on the internet that Red Bull contains bull sperm. These rumours are aggravated by an ingredient called taurine found in the drink. This word is derived from the Latin word Taurus, which we know as the bull horoscope. Probably this aspect has made people speculate that bull sperm was part of the ingredients of Red Bull. Well, the rumour started when Longhorn Cattle Company, based in Texas, put forward an entirely baseless claim that it had discovered traces of bull sperm in an energy drink after having performed random tests. A soda and a cattle company belong to entirely different businesses. However, there might have been some rivalry going on between these companies which prompted the Longhorn to make this damaging claim about the energy drink. We all love to buy nice and homey things for the dinner table. From tablecloths to cutlery, we want everything to be perfect. So would you consider this puking cat gravy boat a great addition to your collection of utensils? We sure wouldn't. It's definitely not a tasteful piece of crockery to display or use, especially if you have guests. The manufacturers call it perfect for any meal. But let's be honest, no one would want to eat a plate of food after a cat puked on it, however metaphorically it may be. This design is just a big no. Quite a few people nowadays try to find solutions for problems that aren't even real. If you don't believe us, check this product out. Someone actually thought people needed relief from having to type with a fresh set of acrylics. We sure didn't know that plastic nails are so precious you have to protect them above everything else. This set of silicone fingertips has been produced to help the ladies type for long hours on their keyboards without chipping or damaging their freshly manicured nails. All they have to do is attach these tips to the edges of their nails, and voila! Now they have fingertips at the end of their nails. This is one extremely useless office product. If you're also one of those hip youngsters addicted to avocados, we have good news for you. Now you can cater to your cravings for the most millennial avocado on toast easily. Don't know what we're talking about? Check this out. A literal avocado stick. Portable and efficient, you can now enjoy your favourite snack anywhere and anytime you want. You don't have to slice through an avocado, then peel it. Just take the stick out and smear some yummy avocado on the toast. We don't really think this invention was necessary, but it did garner public attention because of its uncanny resemblance to a roll of deodorant. Also, nature has arranged for the avocados to stay fresh naturally, so why bother with his stick, right? Ditching the automobiles for cycles is a great way to amp up your health while reducing your carbon footprint, but if you don't enjoy the smooth ride offered by bicycle tyres, there's an alternative for you. Do you prefer to be on your foot while cycling? This invention has got you covered. This is the shoe bike, a cycle that combines the thrill and speed of cycling with the feeling of the pavement against your foot. Well, not exactly your foot, because that's still going to be on the pedal. The tyres are actually made of shoes. Crazy, right? This weird bicycle was created to demonstrate that the high-performance running shoes by the company Adidas are insanely effective and durable. Turns out it actually works quite well too. But the ridiculous appearance of the bike just can't be ignored, and we have to ask, was that really necessary? If you think we're harming the planet with our unnecessarily high plastic waste, wait till you see this next product. Someone actually thought designing this box of Tic Tacs would be a good idea. A box then in turn filled with 60 or so smaller boxes of Tic Tacs, and each smaller box contains about 5 Tic Tacs. There's more plastic in there than Tic Tacs. Are we trying to encourage healthy portion sizes by this? They didn't even organise the smaller boxes neatly inside the larger box. Instead, they just threw in as many boxes as they could into the big one. Really, there was no need for this stupid design. Don't we all love to decorate our cars with all sorts of funky things and baubles? One such item is the bobblehead figure. These are quite funny, we have to agree, but if you have a sick sense of humour, then this one's for you. It's actually pretty terrifying. We sure can't tell who would think of decorating their car with this murderous little thing. This is called Slicey the Pig and is based on an old French cartoon. It's designed in a way that it seems like the pig is carving itself up with a knife as it wiggles. If you're giving a ride to someone you despise, this would be a great way to freak them out. We can guarantee they would never get into your car again. Croc haters are about to see the worst thing in their life. We agree, Crocs look hideous, but they're comfortable, apparently, and for a while they were fashionable too. But these sandals with fake feet printed on them just make us want to throw up. Really, can someone tell us one example of a situation where you'd need to disguise your feet inside these fake flip-flops? We can't think of a single person who would put these hideous shoes on. But now that someone has made them, let's see how long it takes before we actually end up needing them. If you thought the fake feet sandals were ridiculous and completely useless, just check this out. These are actual dentures, and yes, this is indeed a hidden USB stick you can see here. It's a part of the dentures. Who has the guts to present this drive to their colleagues during a work meeting? Maybe if you're a geriatric super spy, you can use this denture drive to smuggle out confidential files. Are you looking to stand out amongst your crew this summer, especially on the beach? We have the right thing for you. Denim swimwear is going to make you the most fashionable one. While it is surely a crime against fashion, someone thought there's a market for these and decided to make them. The company claims they're completely chafe-free and you can choose from a variety of designs. So next time you're thinking of going to the beach, on a hike or maybe a music festival, don't bother cutting your actual jeans, just buy this horrible swimwear. Do you face trouble sleeping on long-haul flights? We understand. It's hard to get comfortable in the congested space inside an airplane. After all, not everyone can afford to fly business class, but this product will help you sleep soundly until you're ready to land. The face cradle is a one-of-a-kind headrest and you can easily sleep with your head supported by it, though the guy sitting behind you will definitely hate your guts for strapping yourself to their in-flight entertainment system. If you're okay with giving up on your dignity for a few hours of sleep, then you should definitely buy this. You should buy this wine glass unless you like drinking wine. Then don't. Also, don't buy this if you're a clean freak, because with this glass you'll end up with wine stains on your furniture, carpet and even clothes. This frustrating design was created by Athens-based designer named Katerina Camprani. She made this as a part of her collection of objects designed to be uncomfortable and in order to inconvenience you. Another one of Camprani's useless creations is the chain fork, and we guarantee it will enrage you. She has actually designed an entire range of useless cutlery just to make sure anyone using it never manages to get a bite into their mouth. If you're thinking of losing weight, this might just be the key. If the fork and wine glass made you angry, this tea set will definitely send you off the rails. Imagine pouring tea from this. It'll spill everywhere. And worse, how will you even drink from this weirdly long mug? Why not just spill the beverage around anyway? While fashion isn't constant anywhere or at any time, you do expect A-list celebrities to put the best out there. Maybe J-Lo didn't get the memo that one time. We can't think of any other reason she would step out wearing these horrible jeans boots. Even if they're Versace, they just look insane. Repeat after us, shoes and jeans should not be mixed. The British love their royal family, and you may or may not understand, but sometimes they just go too far to show solidarity with them. We can assure you, you don't need to wear swimsuits with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's faces printed on them. Sure, if you want attention, then go for it. In fact, get one with the Queen's face on it, but at least try it once before buying. Or else you'll end up looking something like this, with Harry's beard placed exactly where it shouldn't be. Cyclists know that a helmet is essential whenever they're riding, and there's a lot of nice helmet options out there. But they surely weren't good enough because someone decided they needed this big head helmet to make a statement of some sort. It's as amazing as it is disturbing. Others might confuse you for an alien or a megamind with this, but if you like it, then who cares, right? Specific clothing is designed for specific body parts for a reason. You can't use a sock as a hat, but some people think they can just mess with the designs and try to make multi-purpose clothing, but these mostly fail. For instance, check out these underpants. These are made of breathable cotton and are supposed to be worn under regular gloves. These will apparently keep your hands extra warm. It's like underwear for your hands. We could let the underpants slide, but these croc gloves are just too much. They look super uncomfortable and incredibly unfashionable, like the croc shoes. These holes definitely won't keep you warm. Turns out the person who designed these was served with a cease and desist order from the original Crocs brand. Were they angry he made their Crocs into hideous gloves, or were they unhappy that they didn't think of it first? We'll never know. Our clothes define us. We make a personal statement by what we choose to wear every single day, but it's hard to comprehend what kind of statement this sweater is going to make. The design is utterly pointless and uncomfortable. You can't post a picture of you wearing this sweater on Instagram because it'll be removed. Why? Well, because it's covered in nipples. This one is for the guys. This particular bar stool was designed keeping in mind the anatomy of the male body. It's supposed to fit perfectly. Well, it doesn't look that comfortable to us. For someone's crown jewels to fit in these grooves, firstly they have to be naked, and naked men in a bar full of people isn't a compelling sight. Long gone are the days when we had to untangle the long wires of our earphones. Now the wireless Bluetooth ones are the trend. But for those who still prefer the wires, there's a very unique aesthetic option out there. Now you can get earphones that are shaped to look like snails in your ears. Who would want that? We sure don't. Hairbrush is a standard tool that's been used for ages now, and we don't see any reason to mess with the design. But just like in many other cases, someone decided to mess it up. This hairbrush with tiny rubber fingers for bristles could not get any creepier or weirder. Maybe someone likes their hair being stroked by others a little too much, or they need something like this hand phone cover to soothe their cravings for human touch. Selfie sticks are a staple of the modern lifestyle, but did we really need selfie shoes too? Isn't that a tad bit extra? You're supposed to stick the phone into the front compartment, stick your leg up in the air and take a selfie. Again, why do we have to go to such lengths if we all have a selfie stick? We won't even comment on how terrible the shoe design looks. Another ridiculous solution to a non-existent problem is this pizza pouch. We can't imagine a situation where you need to save only one slice of pizza for later. Heck, no one ever thinks, hey, I'm hungry, I'll just have one slice of pizza. One slice is not enough. Who here would feel comfortable sticking a single slice in a transparent pouch and wear it around their neck? It's like putting a target on yourself. Fanny packs are super convenient, but out of all the designs, the one we would never choose is this dad belly one. If you have abs but want to look like a dad, then go ahead, wear it around your waist, but beware, this will scare off children and ladies alike. Surprisingly, this fanny pack comes in a bunch of designs featuring all sorts of bellies and belly buttons. If you're planning to buy this $990 Fendi fur shawl, think again. We promise you won't regret it. Yes, we know it looks nice from this angle, but try turning it upside down. Do you see what we're seeing? Yeah, you definitely need to put it back on the rack. Natural elements always accentuate modern designs, but these also need to be logical. For instance, if you're making cutlery handles from tree branches, at least remove the thorns first. Utensils like this were probably used to torture prisoners back in the day. Spare your guests the pain, please. Every child loves to take the slide in the park. Well, not this slide at least. Besides the fact that it resembles a slimy tongue, it literally has no railings on the sides. This will definitely result in horrible accidents. Just walk away if you see this kind of slide in the park. Speaking of playground designs, this climbing wall just does not look appropriate for children to climb, use, or see, honestly. There's no need to elaborate which part of the human anatomy it clearly resembles. While it may not be completely useless, it is quite frightening for the male members to look at. They look at it and imagine something else that looks like that sausage being sliced up mercilessly. Besides, a processed sausage is practically the easiest thing to cut. We all like fancy bathroom interiors, but sometimes it's important to look at the bigger picture before executing an idea. The owner of this sink should have thought twice before choosing this marble. Anyone could walk in and assume they'd stumbled across a scene full of smeared poo before they realise it's just the marble. Cleaning this bathroom is truly futile. Snuggies are adorable and super comfy for the days you decide to stay in and enjoy the day without doing anything. But have you seen the mum and baby Snuggies? Also called the peekaroo, this looks creepy, like those terrifying aliens with their chests bursting apart. We really don't think anyone would be as happy in this Snuggie as the woman and child in this picture look. If you want to never take coherent notes, these notebooks are for you. Designed in shapes of alphabets, these notebooks are practically unusable. It's impossible to write a full sentence in any of these. We wonder how these actually got the green light for production. We've all seen the invention on the right-hand side in many laboratories, but it's not a secret that these are generally for men. But someone created this product called the She-Wee. You can see a lady showing you how to use this odd invention. Its sole purpose is to allow women to urinate while standing. We can't seem to decide whether it's a good thing or not. Tell us what you think about this futuristic gadget in the comments. You heard it right, someone actually designed a beanbag chair made of solid steel. The guy must be an evil genius intending to cruelly punish others. Imagine you plop down on it not knowing it's steel and not just a shiny silver soft beanbag chair. That would be agonizing. Well, its price is quite painful too. Who's willing to spend $4,500 on this monstrosity?